Hey everyone, this is Bev from Art by Bedell, and I'm back with you with another video for our Sunflower Dragonfly Junk Journal. I bet you're wondering where the dragonflies are. They'll be coming. So right now, today, we are going to make this over-the-page top notepad. I have mine clipped on to a page in my journal with a very large paper clip, a yellow one. There. I'm going to take it off, and this is the front or the back, I'm not sure which, and this is the back. I think they're both just as pretty. This is from my digital kit here. Got to get that plug in for the digital kits, you guys. Anyhow, we are going to create one of these simple little projects for our journal. So I'll set this one aside, and what you'll need is a piece of cardstock for the backing. You will need some papers for the inside of your paper pad. I have some texture. You know me, I like to add texture to my projects. So you choose what you have for texture. I'm going to do a little bit of collage. I have one of these strips that I cut off a watercolor project that will work great for color. I have some washi tape that I had made, and there are, let's see, oh, it's a butterfly on here. I thought they were dragonflies, butterflies. So we're going to use a little bit of washi tape and a little bit of lace. I have made a book, a journal. I'm not sure what to call it. It could be a scrapbook. It could be called many things, I suppose. Anyhow, what I have done is I have this, like, it's like really big. And I've taken snapshots, little thumbnails of all of my pages and all of the journals that I have ever made for Art by Bedell. And then I have taken them and put them into this journal so that when I need an idea, my mind just isn't coming up with something, I can just flip through the pictures and pick one out and say, oh, I haven't done that in a while. Well, anyhow, I had some extras when I printed them off. I wasn't very careful, and I printed a couple pages twice. So I cut out my little thumbnails, and I'm going to use them as ephemera in my journal, in my project. So I have one of those. I have a piece of acrylic. It's self-adhesive acrylic from back in my stamping days, way back when. It's yellowed a bit, and I am absolutely fine with that, and I'll show you how I'm going to use that. The next thing I have are some of my digitals from my sunflower collection that you'll find on my Etsy page, and the link is listed below. And then also in those supplies I had left over, I have some twist ties, and they have a little quote printed on them, and they're just like a twist tie. They have the little wire strip going through, and this one says, believe in yourself. And so I'm going to put that on something. Now on this one that I have made, I used an acrylic frame here. Well, I don't have any more of those, but that's where I tied my twist tie on to this one. And you can see one of those little thumbnails from my journal pages here. So anyhow, this is really quite easy. What I'm going to do is determine the width that I want for my paper pad. And I am going to just fold it and tear it. I'm not going to measure. Like that will be good. Now you could also use a piece of the digital for this background. If you print your digital on some cardstock. And then what I want to do is I want to take all of these elements that need to be inked up such as all of these. Let's see, what else do we have? All of these papers. And I'm going to ink them up with my old standby, which is Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. So I'll get that done and then I will be back. All right, I now have everything edged with the ink. I'm going to start with the back of my paper, which is my cardstock here. And I want to decorate that first. So I want to put a piece of my book paper across the top. Something like that. And I'm going to use art glitter glue. Put that on there. And then I'm also going to use my homemade washi tape and put that down along the side. Then I have my clip art with my my fussy cut image with my milk can. Put that right here. And I'm putting it to the left side. I just don't really care for it to be centered. There we go. Now, I didn't do it on my first one, on my prototype, but I would like to put some stamping down along the right-hand side of this because it looks a little too plain for me. And I'll emboss that in gold also. Now with this Versamark ink, you don't have to emboss it. It will dry and it leaves a nice little watermark. There we go. I think that's better. We'll get this melted. So there is the back of our notepad. Now I want to put my papers on. As I said before, I've collected a few papers. This one is avocado dyed paper. I'm just putting a stream of glue on the top of it so that I can keep everything lined up so it doesn't move when I take it to the sewing machine to stitch across the top of that. Then I have a piece of what is government settlement paper that is like a parchment paper. It's very, very thin. And I'll put that across the top also, lining it up so it stays nice and neat. I have a piece of coffee stain paper. Put that down. And I have a piece of Echo Print with colt's foot. Put that down. And then I have a piece of craft packaging paper. So that's going to complete our paper pad. Now they don't have to be the same length by any means. They can be whatever they are. They're scraps, right? So on the front of this now, I want to take a piece of this Maruyama paper, and I want to go down the whole length of it. So I'll have to cut this with scissors because it doesn't tear. Let's get the right length here, which is just about there. And then we'll go up the side here. Okay. And I will put a little bit of glue underneath that, but I also have to put something on top of it to hold it there. And what I'm using for that is this strip of watercolor paper that was cut off from another project. And I'll put a little ink where I tore it. And then I'll put just a stream of glue on that also. There we go. There, that looks really decorative and pretty there. This could be stapled too if you didn't want to do machine stitching. You could do hand stitching on that also. So now for our focal point, I have that piece of that thumbnail print. It's too big, so I'm going to tear it down. That's much better. And now I have to ink up around the edge of it. And it says on there, just be you. And then I will glue that on in the top left-hand corner. And then I have my acrylic piece. Oops, I'm forgetting my piece of lace. I can still add that right there. Just like that. And my piece of acrylic. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put that over the Just Be You to highlight it. Just like that. So that kind of frames it. And then down in the bottom of this, I am going to put now, on my other one, I had my top paper go all the way to the bottom. So since I don't, and I know the glue is going to go through here, I don't want to glue all these pages down. So I'm going to glue it just where my top paper is, right here. And that's that craft piece of paper, the packaging. So I will put this probably not all the way over to the right, but just a little bit in. So I'll get that glued down. And then I'll have a leaf. I thought I had 2 leaves. And let's put it up here so it's right there. Yep, here's my other leaf. So that will stick to just the piece of craft paper. If I'm diligent, I will pull this up every so often so that it doesn't stick to that, but usually it gets behind me. You could also put something underneath it. You know what would be a good idea is to take a piece of book paper and go behind this and just put it back there, just like that, and back that, and let's get this glue rubbed off. And that looks pretty cool, actually, having that book paper behind it. And then we won't have it sticking to this piece of paper either. There we go. So we fixed that little issue. Now I have my twist tie. On the other one, was able to tie it right around that frame before I glued it down. So I'm thinking what I'm going to have to do this time is get it folded the way I want. And then I think I will staple that right onto my flower just like that. So I will do that. I have to go get my stapler. And I am also going to take this to the sewing machine and do a zigzag across the top here. And then I will be back. Okay, there we go. There is a cute little notepad. I'm loving the watercolor scrap up here. It just adds a really nice color to it. So there is our prototype and there is today's. Let's see how they both look on a scrapbook page. So we'll take this one, and the way I do it is I just open it up and I just put the cardstock behind the scrap or the journal page. Put it on there like that. And for this journal, I'm using a piece of Echo print paper. So I'll open it up and I'll slide it down on like that. And there we have our project for today in our journal. Now these will flap around a little bit, so then I will take a big paper clip and put on them to hold them in place like that. I'm not sure what I did with this paper clip. I'll have to find it. Oops. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this simple little project, and make a paper pad or 2 of your own. You can make them in all different sizes and shapes, and pretty cool. You have a great day, and we shall see you again soon with another project in our Sunflower Dragonfly Junk Journal. Bye. Bye now.